Hi, and welcome back. I'm Nina Farr, leadership coach to lone parents, author of I Am the Parent Who Stayed, and of the Family Vision Programme for women who parent alone. Today, I'm wanting to talk to you guys about pushback. Now, pushback might sound a little bit strange. Maybe you've not heard that term before. So let me break it down for you. Pushback is what I call the inner and outer resistance that we get to making a change. If you are moving through a time of changes at home, in your family, in your personal life, possibly even in your professional or your social life as well, there are going to be things that you need to do to move your life forward. There may be new boundaries that you need to set to move into a more respectful or more healthy relationship with your ex-partner, possibly also new boundaries and new approaches with your children. You may also need some new boundaries with yourself to take care of yourself. And we've talked a little bit about that already in some of the videos that I've sent you. But when we set new boundaries and when we give ourselves new tasks or new ways of being, one of the things that we experience is pushback. Now, pushback is when you have an inner or an outer resistance. And that can look like your ex, for example, if you say, actually, I'm no longer available for phone calls 24 hours a day, getting really cross with you and saying it's not okay. It could also look like telling yourself that you're going to take better care of yourself and go to bed on time, and then finding yourself mindlessly scrolling Facebook at 1:30 in the morning or sitting up watching a box set again. It could be things like your children getting very cross with you because they want things to be the way that they've always been, and you know that they can't be anymore. Pushback is hard, okay? It's really hard, whether it's coming from somebody else or whether it's an internal resistance that you're trying to work through. When we try and make changes and we get really fired up about them and we think it's all going to go well, to experience pushback and to feel like the best efforts that you've given are not working, or that they aren't going to take you forward in the way that you had hoped they would, can be really discouraging. It can knock your motivation. It can make you feel like, what's the point? Or, it's never going to be any different. And it can certainly lead you to feeling emotionally drained and quite despondent. But pushback is really normal. So I'd like to talk a little bit now about what a boundary is for and why people find them so hard, ourselves included, when we give ourselves new boundaries as well. So change is scary. We like to be creatures of habit. We like to do things the way that we've always done them. And we like our relationships to show up the way that we've always known them. So when someone turns around and says, actually, that's not how it's going to be anymore, we get scared. It may not be a conscious thing. It could be an unconscious thing. And your ex may not be able to articulate that they find it frightening that you're moving on and setting new boundaries or asking them to relate to you in a new way. They might not even have a conscious awareness that they're giving you pushback. But this is a kind of instinctive reaction that we give when we're given a new boundary, because we like to test to see whether it's a real one, whether it's going to hold, whether it's true for us, and whether it's safe as well. So children give us pushback all the time. And you will have experienced this with your kids in any number of ways, that when you ask them not to do something or you give them a boundary that's about keeping them healthy or safe, your children will push it and push it and push it and push it to see if it's going to hold. So when you get pushback from people who are not used to you having boundaries in your life, particularly with them, and especially if they have benefited from your lack of boundaries, they are also going to push back hard. But pushback doesn't mean that change can't happen or won't happen, or that you're wasting your time. And when you find pushback that is inner, that is your own unwillingness to move through change, or your own fear that is stopping you from making new boundaries stick for yourself in your own life, then that is something that can be overcome as well. The way that we overcome it is by recognizing that we are a social species and we are not meant to do this on our own, okay? We are not meant to go through life, parenting, huge transitions, trauma, loss, change, or grief without anyone in our corner. It's just not how human beings are wired. We are relational beings, which means that we operate at our best when we are in relationship with other people. So I feel safe when I know what your boundaries are. You feel safe when you know what my boundaries are. Clear is kind. When I tell you this is what you can expect from me, and you lean into that and push it and discover that I was telling the truth, then that's when you'll feel safe. When you give a boundary for your children or for your family or your friends or your ex, one of the things that helps us to hold these boundaries and helps us to feel safe in giving them and helps other people to feel safe in respecting them is when we feel that we are fully supported, entitled to make that decision, and that we are held in the loving support of our community. So for me, the loving support of a community is absolutely imperative to being able to have positive experience of change, which is why, as I have been talking in the videos so far about the cluster mothers, this is why I've created a community for women who are parenting alone. Because I know that one of the biggest challenges when we move through a family transition like this is that our community is often very disrupted. You know, we've got family and friends and children with divided loyalties. We have people who don't understand the complexities of what's happened to us, people who feel very confused by who to support and how. And relationships that we used to be able to lean into and rely on can sometimes feel wobbly, unsafe, unsupported, and not quite what we need them to be. You know, sometimes it's even the closest people to us that suddenly feel unstable. Our parents, our siblings, our friends, and our children. So if you are moving through a family breakdown or a reorganization of how you're living, and you have found that the support networks around you that you would normally be able to lean into and trust don't feel so secure anymore, then one of the ways that we can address that and work on it so that you can move through this time in your life confidently and with love and with support is by joining a new community. Now, that could be as simple as coming and posting in the Facebook group and talking about where you are. Or it could be taking a plunge to prioritize yourself and your needs and deciding to sign up and be part of Family Vision Live beginning at the end of this month. So Family Vision Live is something that I run 4 times a year. It's a 10-week program with women just like you who are moving through a family transition. It's based on my experiences when I became a single mum. It's based on my professional experiences as a leadership and narrative coach. And it's based on the experiences of over 100 women who've traveled with me over the past 5 years, of knowing what works for them and their children and families, and knowing what worked for me. There are some amazing stories on my blog, which I will link for you in the coming days, that you can go and check out for evidence of women who have experienced this transition and been through the Family Vision program. Go and have a look, find out if it resonates with you. Come into the Cluster Mothers, post your questions, ask people in there, what's it like? Lots of my clients who have been through the program already have stayed in the Cluster Mothers to support and share their experiences with others. You're still in the window where I haven't opened the official doors. So if you want to take advantage of my super early bird offer, it's £299, which is £29 a week. That is the cheapest therapy you will find anywhere, believe me. It's less than £5 a day for the 10 weeks. And you will also get, if you sign up before the doors open, a 1-to-1 90-minute coaching session with me, fully included in that price. Now, this is a crazy, crazy low cost offer for you guys. And the reason that I offer it for this value is because I'm passionate about helping women like you succeed. I want to see you happy. I want to see you lifted up and supported by a community who love you. And I want this for you because I know what a difference it will make to your children to have a mum who can show up for them. Present, happy, grounded, supported, and living a life on her own terms. I know what a difference it made to my kids to have their mum show up and do that for them. Together, we can make sure that lone parenting does not have to be lonely. There's nothing about this transition that you need to face on your own. And I would really love to hear from you if you'd like to be part of this group coming up soon. Take care, and I'll speak to you soon.